All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our scrim. This is Tac Trig versus 7th Rangers. We're looking at Goose Bay, RASV 1. This is going to be a fogless version of Goose Bay. Fogless meaning all the cap points are going to be visible to both teams. And what that means, it's a bit like AAS, but we get a bit more layer variety than you would normally get in an AAS layer. Because they got all the possible capture points that RAS can go to. We're going to play 2 matches. We're going to flip in the halfway point, and you're going to find that since we're on RAS, you're going to have the lane change on the second round, so that will be completely different cap points than the first round, most likely, which adds a whole lot of variety to the gameplay. I'm joined today by Urso Dosono, and our additional camera is Revenge Raider. Urso, say hello.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And Revenge, say hello.
How's it going, guys?
So, one thing that we're going to try to do today that I think is going to be really neat is we have a solution that allows us to use 3 different cameras. And I'm going to try to test that out right now with my live audience. So, we've got camera 2 is Urso, currently hovering high above the map. And camera 3, Revenge, currently also hovering high above the map. And camera 1, yours truly, tagging along with one of Tac Trig's Logis, rolling out right now. So as we kind of chill for this rollout, some expectations to set for this game. I'm anticipating something that is going to be kind of a little bit less armor focused than your usual Goose Bay affair. Goose Bay is a very open, wide map. But the factions we're currently playing right now are Brits support versus VDV support. Both of those teams not really getting a ton of armor to work with. So it's really going to be the infantry plays that make the difference on this match today. So we're just going to take a second, enjoy this calming rolling out footage.
I am really surprised by the 7th not taking a little bit more of an aggressive approach onto Goose Bay. They're playing very passive, not rushing a vehicle there. They're really staged back on the South Forest. Instead, making a larger sweeping approach on the west side here, just past Opheb in the tree line to the north of Opheb.
And we're going to find that Pie Master's squad is going to be setting a fob down, most likely, on that hill on the northwest side of our airfield. We'll have to check back in with them later to see how they are doing.
Talk me through why 7th wouldn't want to be getting a little bit stronger of a foothold inside of Goose Bay Airport earlier on.
So it's a risky cap to push aggressively. It's a lot of wide open spaces, and there are solid chances that you just get deleted by some sort of RWS from who knows what angle on that. It's much safer for both teams to establish the rallies that we're seeing them get set up right now. Watching Veach, Crustacean, Messi, Gray, and company take the woods kind of to the west side of this airfield. And they may find themselves meeting contact within the next several minutes as their opponents to the south are doing the same sort of deal. Getting these rallies in these forests and then playing for surrounding control of the airfield rather than just diving straight in and getting punished for it.
7th seems very concerned with that main road push, but Squad 4 in their hat kits actually took the extreme long route to the south, which might actually put them on the back side behind their armor, and when that armor inevitably retreats, they'll catch them when they back out the main road.
There's 0 presence on Goose Bay.
So if we take a look at the map right now, you're going to see kind of exactly what we are talking about with this actual cap itself of Goose Bay Airfield. Totally empty right now, but you have a wave of blue northwest side, and you have a steady trickle of red southwest that are about to hit contact and about to vie for that control.
Let's shift everybody up one, yeah.
And I think that contact is about to happen in just a few moments. We've got Gray, Stick, Strikers. I think Gray is wise to their opponents being down there. I think they might have heard something.
let's do Logi runs. We can play it slow. We got lots of time.
But at the moment, these
we'll
two
take
groups
Goose
not
and,
quite
do
seeing
we
each other.
each
That's a
have
really
for
close
one-
rally, isn't it, or
one
so?
half?
That's
Yeah, it's a very close rally, and
Yeah.
7th actually saying in local that they spotted that infantry moving left to right. They do know that 7th or TT is in that tree line just to their northeast.
so. I think the right call here, maybe if I were SL in that situation, I might pick that rally up if I can't find those infantry soon, and maybe set it back somewhere a little bit safer. One thing that
To the
happens a
north,
lot.
it looks like we have armor about to catch a Logi out.
Unless you need me
Ooh,
out
I
on
want to see
your
that.
west.
That
I
sounds
do
like
not.
fun.
Lat has dismounted, actually. They've got audio on the
I'll get
convoy,
I'll
and they're
take
going to be
care of
calling it
Hilltop
out.
Cap
TT armor
if you
might
guys
respond
wanna
to
keep
it.
pushing.
Yeah, it's like
Some
I'll-
interesting
yep,
comps
I'll
coming
get
out of
rallied
TT
to
here,
one
wondering
shot
where their
on both
opponent
levels,
is,
good to
not
go.
seeing them on the airport. 7th, I said at the beginning of the game, I'm not sure why they wouldn't want to get a little bit more of a foothold, them being the closer approach to the airfield.
A little bit of 7th armor taking a rocket on the north side of the map. Looks like 7th armor going for a wide north flank. May manage to find a couple attack trig on the north side, but nothing large just yet. They might be taking the hills looking for a big angle. And it looks like we've
might
got
get our first shots
a
here.
very small engagement. A few shots being landed by Valexia and freaking Pwned.
Alright, we have some infantry southwest.
Just peppering a couple little shots on these Vics. Nothing quite enough to really put anything out of commission just yet, so I think this fight may be stalled for the time being. Coming
Squad
back to
7 from 7th and Squad 3 from TT are about to get into contact on the south readouts on Goose Bay.
So taking a look at this
When is
south
Papa
side, I would
Smith
agree with
resistance
that.
up
We've
here?
got Aiden's rally in these trenches. Not terribly far away from the presence of a 7th rally to that south side. And then quite a few 7th on an additional rally. So the balance right now on this south side is slightly stacked against Tactric's favor. Kind of clustered up on these trenches at the moment. There's only a 2v4 or 5 or so. So we'll have to see if they're able to kind of outperform frags-wise. Altel Enjoyer with the first pick on the Arthritis. But he's in an uphill fight against 2 other additional infantry. Does not make it happen. King Snake gets the refrag. And with not that much tech trig here to respond other than Aiden and Dirge, this south side does not look great for tech trig at the moment. Updating on a map.
Squad
That's
4 on their long flank to the south are finally getting up to Opheb. All the infantry, which is now off of it, 1 Logi and 1 infantry to do the back cap. They might be able to push in and stall this.
so
They've got audio on the Logi and everything.
one thing that we kind of notice is that we have this western hold and this southern hold on 3 different fronts to try and prevent the push on the south from 7th in a couple different positions. And that's going to allow Goose Bay to kind of remain as this available cap up north that the rest of Tactric can then pour into from the north side.
They got the pick on Opheb. Opheb is currently stalled until 7 can get more infantry down there.
Beautiful shot from Evil.
And quite a few dead on the ground for both teams south of this airfield. Tactric doing a really good job keeping the south side occupied. Even though they're not winning all of their gunfights, they're slowing things down enough that the rest of the team can catch up behind them. And we see E1, Noon, Fathead sweeping in, might be able to get a little bit of a flank off on this rally. With only HQB here to stop it, I think this rally might be doomed in short order.
I think we stalled OPHEB, by the way. But they have a weather traffic. But they have a weather traffic here, the B&B. Their mortars are
MILF is going to go down to HQB. E1 here to respond, but this is... Oh, I believe that was a trade? So HQB was traded out. There is nothing currently standing between Tech Trig and 7th Rally over there other than the revives that need to take place.
Yeah, a lot of stalled infantry movement here, west side, east side, everything just kind of coming to a halt. These 2 forces holding in the tree lines, waiting for either one to make a move.
Looks like we've got a little bit of 7th armor getting itself a little bit close to Tektric's fob on the northwest. Tanked him from behind. I didn't even see Bread, and neither did that armor. Very nice shot for Bread. There goes the tickets off the board. Bread, of course, rearming off of his LPPV. Good hat kit, able to keep himself supplied with ammunition very independently. That's exactly what we like to see from hat kits. And that's going to keep this fob over here unpressured by 7th Armor. And I think 7th Armor is going to think twice before they do any more bits of aggression in that area.
Overall situation for 7th is not looking very good right now. Their only fob on the map does not have a hab placed. They almost need to be thinking about getting a fob on shipping, getting it inside, and working on an anchor and pushing to retake hab.
Yeah, the south side that we were talking about earlier, a little bit more 7th dead on the ground. And that stall has been very effective at keeping them just completely locked out of the airfield. So it looks like Tektrig is not going to have any sort of problem taking this Goose Bay cap. But at the moment, they have Precious Little, like, actually inside of that cap. They're really just playing the south side to surround that cap. And
E1 has burnt the rally on their only hab. He's got audio on the radio, so might see all these blueberries on TT's side, blue guys to the north, start collapsing down south here. Oh, actually, 7th just pulled it. 7th pulled their radio. Smart move by them.
The MDM.
So that radio being pulled leaves them a little bit less to work with, but it also leaves them at less of a ticket risk. At the moment, the tickets are neck and neck. We've got Tektrick with 273 tickets to 7th's 270. So a very even match so far, but that differential could begin to slip as we see these caps start to roll in for Tektrig. The question is, once this airfield is figured out, what is Tektrig's plan going forward from there? Is this going to be a slow, grinding assault, or are we going to see something dramatic?
I was talking about it a bit in the beginning of the match. I was really guessing that 7th would dive deep into the airfield and hold it, as it's a very difficult objective to attack. And honestly, yielding that to TT, I don't know if that's necessarily the best move, in my opinion. I would definitely want to take that defensive position over OpHeb.
So
OpHeb's going to be a nightmare.
This OpHeb spot, Tektrig's flank squads did a really good job of pressuring 7th enough that they felt like they needed to pull a radio. Even though Klob and Evil are dead on the ground right now, they've accomplished the task of wiping 7th spawns from this chunk of the map for quite a while to come.
Easy.
I can try and get the one on refinery if you want me
And it
to.
looks like this advance is just going to continue down the south side of the map. We've got this Tektrig squad just in the center, just on this southern push, and then a couple on the other sides grabbing those west and eastern flanks as well.
Randy, you need to take the lead on coordinating you and Brett of pulling all the...
So Heb is now kind of becoming the focus, and that's kind of funny since we have yet to see Goose Bay end up being capped at the moment. Still very little Tektrig actually inside of this cap right now. They're all very busy pushing south, pushing west, pushing southeast, and clearing that area out. I'm sure that once the back cap by Command Squad has been taken care of, we will see that airfield cap happen basically for free.
Scriptum found himself in a little bit of a dodgy point between two anti-airs. We're able to dip out on that west side, though.
That's going to be one unique advantage that VDV has that Brits do not have, is VDV has those 2 tracked anti-air vehicles to take advantage of. And at the moment, mortars are kind of chewing into the infantry fight on the south side, slowing things down, preventing the rapid push from happening.
Right now, their goal is we need their tank dead. Their goal is we need their tank dead. That's what we need.
So Chris's calls for monitoring the tank situation, even before this tank is even out yet, is going to be interesting to see if they can capitalize on that. Usually the way this works is either a main camp allows Tektrig to stop that tank from even leaving main, or we usually end up seeing some sort of tank fight or airstrike deal with that situation. Yuan with a pick on a cold with the 50 cal, making use of the RWS.
Tactrig's center line infantry is now pushed and are now assaulting Hep.
That's
We've got a
from
very
the-
interesting 2v9 going on. It's an Alamo situation for the 7th, but they do have 5 infantry coming in from the east off of a freshly set rally.
And that's not an easy road to get across, especially right next to
Both
that
enemy
cap. They're
helis are
not doing the
circling.
best job of watching that. And they're letting E1 and company just get in kind of for free on this. So I don't anticipate Tactrig to totally win this first engagement, but this has really got to shake your confidence as defenders on OP Heb if you are 7th Rangers. That again, we've able to see Tactrig just waltz right into cap. Not completely unpunished, but still just walking right in without being even stuck across the street.
A lot of 7th just kind of sitting in their beginning positions, not making any form of movement. Maybe they're taking an observation stance, but that's a lot of infantry to be having sit between the airfield and Heb, not doing anything but observing.
And if I'm not mistaken, we've got an airstrike coming out. Not sure what that one was for, but these mortars that are being called out in command chat are being sent by a radio east of Heb. I don't believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe these mortars have a hab attached to them. So I think they placed a radio to just shell the crap out of Tactrig in some spot, and I believe we might be seeing Spartan pull this radio. That's a very interesting tactic of dumping a radio, firing off all the ammo, and then digging it down immediately just for a really quick shoot and scoot. That's some pretty creative thinking. I don't think that it's what 7th really needs right now. I think what 7th really needs right now is a strong fob that will allow them to replenish their presence. Because Heb is looking worse and worse by the second, and I don't even think it's the active cap yet.
Their tank just got tracked. 7th tank just was tracked.
And there's that man,
Right
that main
outside
camp
their
we're talking about. And I'm guessing, is that Bread? Oh yeah, it's Bread.
Yep.
Of course it's Bread. So, Bread is done the Bread thing. Tank is tracked, and I think Bread has supplied himself with plenty of ammo with which to get a finishing blow. The challenge in this situation is he's on kind of the decline of a hill. He does have a lot of trees to work with, but once this tank sees him, this little aggression on the tank might not pan out. But we are seeing Bread's about to get a shot. And that's going to land
7th has done
squarely
a-
in the center of the tank.
7th's done a
Nice
pretty good
start.
job on this counterattack on Hep. They've actually pushed all of that first infantry from TT off at the point.
And Ursa,
I'm
while
not
you...
thinking anything's gonna come from that tank though. I'm not sure if Bread's gonna be able to get a rearm. No airstrike will be available as no squad leaders in the area to call that in.
I'm wondering is if his LPPV is going to be out of ammo. Regardless, Wrecker managed, or sorry, Assassin managed to get one of their tracks repaired, but Bread had tracked the other one with that shot just a moment ago. And it looks like Bread goes down. Was he? Oh no, he's just prone. I was misreading. So Bread might have another shot here unless his LPPV is fully out of ammunition. We'll see if he can get a shot. And that's a dead
Oh, there goes the
tank!
tank.
Very nicely done, Bread. One man all by himself. All you need is a truck, a little bit of ammunition, and a lot of trees to cover your approach, and you can kill a tank by yourself. And if you look at the text chat, the top right, or sorry, top left of your screen right now, Chris Webb, one of our squad leaders, is calling that tank kill at the time it was killed so that the team can predict when the tank will be out again. I believe it's on a 20-minute cooldown. So we will expect to see that tank again in 20 minutes. Maybe. I mean, that one was dismantled pretty decisively. I would not take that thing out again if I were 7th. We will see if that is for the best.
He
It's like
found
you're-
himself in between an AA and
Oh,
a
no.
flat team. He's
I
taking
see.
shots left, right, and center. He should be able to keep himself up, though, as he took out that AA gunner, and I'm not thinking they have a lot more ammo left in this AT team.
I hope. That's really not a great spot to be stuck in, but I see a whole lot of dead red bodies and blue bodies over there, so it's just a giant mess. Ace Shonk's still alive, just cowering behind a rock.
I killed the one infantry that was around us, but unsure if it was
And the only trouble is if G1 can't clear all of this out, then he's not going to be able to leave and repair because there's just too many eyes on this. It looks like the infantry fight is heating up. Ronaldo takes one out. Is not aware of H-Junk, though, so he might get picked on this one here. Oh, no. Yeah, Ronaldo's gone. So Ronaldo goes down, and it looks like H-Junk and Mesthetic and Felix... Felix may just clean up. Oh my goodness, H-Junk with the punishment on that one. Mesthetic last alive to respond to this, of course, except for our RWS gunner over there.
I mean, it's going to be a war of attrition over here on OpHeb, and I think eventually TT will be able to win out on that once that artillery comes available. That tank getting taken out early from 7th is not what you want to see. And honestly, you're 20 tickets behind just right out of the gate, given the fact that you weren't able to get onto the airport.
Looks like G1 taking some rockets. I believe his tracks are back up. Nope, he is still tracked, but just rotating front armor towards the enemy on this. Does not have a bead on where they're completely at just yet. G1 in a really precarious situation. I believe one man as well.
You're going to Goose Bay, right? Yeah.
He's in a precarious situation, but what a situation to be. Target-rich environment. You see the amount of 7th built up just outside of that hab.
Yep. And this hab, this is the peril of pulling that fob on OP Heb. You have no outside cover. They've kind of tried to place this under a couple of trees, but I really don't expect this hab to last terribly long once these mortars from Tektrig have figured themselves out and found that hab. And Alt-L Enjoyer just like 30-40 meters out from this hab. And Tektrig just deep inside. So
a
OP
lot of
Hub.
satellite fighting that I'm seeing across the map. We've got infantry over by Refinery. We got infantry everywhere but where I would expect them to be.
Southeast Refinery.
So the OP Hub situation, taking a look at the map, this ingress from Tektrig on the north and the northeast, G1's kind of stranded RWS, has been putting a lot of pressure that 7th has been sort of been able to meet on the south side, both on cap and at their hub. But I do believe we are looking at a single individual who is about to get right behind this Bob. Now let me see if I can get you guys a view on that. Looks like Esket just behind. We'll probably have a view on this hab within the next 60 seconds. And that might blow this whole thing open. Because once that hab location is known, that's all Tektrig should need. And that is the repair station and the radio in Asket's view. I'm pretty sure Asket just marked that. And if Tektrig's running mortars, that radio should be dead within 5 minutes. That's usually how it goes.
If you're 7th in this situation, not that they know that TT's setting up on shopping center, but you got to think the more time you give TT to set up, the worse it's going to develop. You cannot let TT set the pace. They will set the pace to something they could win.
And it looks like you were following a Logi from Tektrig that is following up Asket on this one. Just behind where Asket was earlier is going to be a Logi possibly coming in to flank this fob with either a rally or a brand new fob behind the cap. And for this cap, we're looking at behind, meaning both OP Heb from this angle, and we're looking at shipping center from on the east side, both accessible from either a rally or a fob on the south here.
Now they may have a little bit of problem here as 7th running a little bit of a BMD-1 out here on this southern flank. They didn't get that truck pulled into the forest as much as I'd like. They may get spotted here.
I would agree with that. Looks like Log is driving a Logi right up to Tektrig's Logi. I don't think he sees... Possibly. Just turned off just before it. But we'll see if Wrecker and Assassin are able to find that Logi and deduce what's happening here.
TT's setting up a heli drop, dropping south of the point, probably going to establish a fob in Happy Valley.
Helicopter drop.
There is an AA Vic vehicle there, so this might go south.
So, Wrecker, Assassin, just behind Tektrig's Logi with the Pie Master on it. There's the shot. Logi's doomed. question is, does 7th put the 2 and 2 together and figure out that there's a rally here? I don't believe that Tetrick is committed to a full radio place, though. Looks to me like just a rally for the moment. But if this Vic drives a little bit farther, they might be able to burn that rally. Logi goes down. There's 5 tickets off the Tetrick's board. Update on tickets. Tetrick is ahead, 273 to 7th Rangers 225. A lot of that difference we're seeing right now is down to asset losses, like little vehicles, and also due to infantry kills, with 50 deaths confirmed for 7th at this point. And
now you were
was
talking
I
about
correct about the
Tetrick,
mortars?
Yes, the radio already being
Yep.
down as level. Not a good position if you're 7th.
I called
I
it.
mean, the amount of bodies on the ground as well. You're wounded in that radio. You got to be scrambling.
Dude, I called it within 5 minutes. I said that radio is gonna die. So we'll see if my prediction is that accurate. And oh my god, just chewing up the infantry. Barely able to get out of the hab. Odysseus and Broccoli Baby able to make it out. Pancake not so lucky.
Interestingly, TT did manage to get their heli drop off. The AA did not have a line of sight, but just on his exfil crashed into a light pole.
Rest in peace. Oh, that's awful. And it looks like that AA is kind of just rolling over the heli wreckage. Kind of sad that the AA didn't manage to get a pick on this. Swapping back over to this mortar situation, E1 able to back up his infantry, picking off any possible hope of medics. We'll also be burning a rally in just a moment, if he can progress just a little bit closer to these mortars.
I got to give it to the 7th. Aside from losing that tank right out of the gate, they are using their vehicles quite effectively, locking down long approaches. We talked earlier about TT getting just a free walk-in on the north side into Op-Heb, and 7th must have took that personally because they're starting to set up long-range vehicles to pin infantry as they push across.
And that tank is going to be out in about 11 minutes. The question we're going to have to ask ourselves is, are they going to even bother using it at this point with how thoroughly trounced it was earlier?
Now this Challenger, they do know that that 7th did use an airstrike at the beginning of the game, and the enemy tank is now down. Their threat level is pretty low as they start to shell into Op-Heb.
Revisiting on that mortar situation, the radio does still stand. It looks like it's at full health. The mortars have ceased on this one. Whether that's due to pressure in the backline, I'm not sure, but 7th is able to lick their wounds on this and continue the fight at OP Hub. At least for now.
Squad 1, while successfully dropping with the heli, is having a terrible time trying to push to the point, caught between a rock and a hard place of 2 different bow guns 200 meters to their north and south.
We do see a small group of 7th pushing into the airfield, taking out Ego on the mortars, but dropping a few themselves. Not sure that attack's going to be able to get off the ground, but still, that little bit of a reminder to the TT that they aren't always safe where they think they are.
Yep, so that goes a long way to explaining why that radio's not dead. I guess my little prediction didn't get to come true, at least not just yet. Tibbers and Axios in a very tense situation. Heistman runs straight past an enemy infantry in his quest to make sure that Ego gets revived, because I know Ego's very valuable on the mortars. I think he's just realized his mistake, but he is too busy shift debuting and is caught between 2 different infantry, so that is a rest in peace moment right there for Funny Heistman.
J1 just obliterating Tibbers through the wall with that 50 cal.
So it looks like 7th's not going to be able to affect much more than a stall on this for now. Fear my stick, last alive on the corner over here. Probably not going to be able to accomplish much unless they can work a revive. Looking back at OP Hub.
Dog is doing some good rat work on Op-Hep. He has the potential, if he peaks right now, to get a possible multi-kill.
And
green lines.
I really must have to. I must update us on the map situation. So things are just looking increasingly worse for 7th by the moment. You can just see the wave of blue on all different sides of OP Hub coming from all these different clustered areas. Even far out, working on shipping center, we've got clusters of blue. And the pockets of red that we're seeing are few and far between. We've got some armor support on the west side. A big presence in cap, and some armor on the south able to maybe assist a little bit. But other than that, I don't see a terribly large amount of red on that cap right now. So OP Heb might be falling potentially in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, as soon as that artillery comes available, I can't imagine that the 7th will be able to hold through that.
Got
Not
it.
having anything more than a radio out in the
Can I get
open
an
and a
update
hab
on
out in the
content
open and no
this
rallies.
day?
Well, their rallies in the open. I think you get the point here. 7th really needs to dive deep and come up with a game plan, because while they're able to keep status quo right now, they have to know that they can't do that into the future.
Yeah, and as Tactrig's mortars start resuming the hab attack, we've got 2 or 3 7th inside trying to maintain the shovel. I'd love to see Tactrig resume the hit on the mortars. They had good marks on the mortars. Looks like they're hitting the rep station, and that's going to splash the... That's going to splash the radio by proxy. These mortars are... There we go. Now hitting some accurate shells on top of that radio. And with a couple dead inside of that hab, I believe the infantry game is causing more problems. So that radio being down, there is still one rally right next door to this hab that can provide infantry, but that rally is being farmed right now. The only thing they have going for them is the presence of an APC able to... Actually, this is an open top. He's not doing anything. Maybe smoke cover, but that's about it.
I think we will see 7's radio now on bleed as it's just getting absolutely pummeled by mortars.
And unless we see... And there goes, I think, the rep station or nearby Vic as well. Unless we see this pressure coming from 7th resume at the airfield, which I'm not really seeing any signs of, I think that radio might just die. I do hear airstrike. Was that at our radio? Looks like that
It was
may
aimed
have
at the tank,
been-
but the tank moved just in time.
I see.
Not a position you want to be as in 7th. TT dropping another hack hit right outside their main, taking out a troop transport, now leaving a full squad of infantry abandoned in the field right outside their main.
And
Nowhere to spawn, nowhere to run.
yeah. And again, this is simply just Tactric doing Tactric things. I was about to say Bread doing Bread things, but this is Sir Bro Dude on the main camp duty this time. Maybe barely making escape as the a squad of 7th is hunting for revenge on their fallen comrades. The wreckage of that vehicle. Fuzzball having a great time. Just dancing.
You know who's not having a great time? It's just me running between an AA and another BDV vehicle. On fire, not sure he's going to be able to make it out of that one. Caught between a BMD-1 and a hard place. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Rest in peace. That's not an easy situation to be in. I do see that we're looking at OP Heb now, and that cap is starting to fall. We're going to see this cap continue to go down as 7th is without a fob on the east side any longer. That fob has now fully died. Ticket update, 239 Tactrig, 144 for 7th.
7th does have a strong push over here on the airfield. Starting to get some pressure on this airfield radio. Not having anywhere to spawn, I guess going on a bit of an attack here is about the best they can do. Maybe trade a radio for Heb, but that's not positive tickets their way.
Trade a radio and maybe even a tank as well. Tactric's tank is now tracked.
But again,
There's-
they 7th threw out their airstrike just on a whim. I mean, the tank wasn't even tracked, not
No.
even infantry around. I mean, that's a ballsy play to be making with an airstrike.
If you're commander, you really, even if you think you're good at aiming on airstrike, you need to find some way to ensure that that tank is not going to move. There's definitely ways to make that happen. And if you're playing Anvil, for example, and you've got a tank on a hilltop that hasn't moved any time in the last 15 minutes, you might be able to feel pretty safe about doing that airstrike, but not in a scrim like this. Not against good players. So Drizzle's tank.
7th do control the TT's hab onside the airfield, but there's far too many TT vehicles and infantry here to really give the 7th any wiggle room.
Yeah. So that call for stacking Heb coming from command chat. Tactric still with a very strong presence inside of Heb, but not completely not a complete control just yet. A few 7th are able to hang on as stragglers at this cap, but this cap is now neutralized. And I have to say that I wouldn't be surprised if Tactrig were pretty ready to set up on the next cap, that shipping center. Taking a look at the map, if you look at the position that Tactrig has put themselves in, have basically under control. We've got presence on the east, southeast side of shipping center, ready to collapse into that as soon as that cap comes available. Squad 4 rally on the northeast, able to continue refreshing troops in the shipping center, and precious little response from 7th on the matter. A small rally squad trying to stall OP Heb, not able to really make progress to the east to stop anything at shipping though.
Yeah, 7th dropped a roughly a full squad within comp terms on the far southwest side near Happy Valley. I mean, they're 9 miles from their objective. They dropped rally. They have one hell of a hike. This game may be over by the time they see any contact.
Lob is solo defending the east side of shipping here against the 6-man push.
And it looks like Tactrig's able to continue streaming some infantry into the east side of Heb. Amsel taking fire from what I presume is the RWS. Looks like G1 never went down. G1's still kicking. Despite the awful situation he found himself in, Amsel, ooh, goes down. Chuckinator with a nice lat shot into the side. These APCs don't really have that much health, so lats are able to do a lot more work on a support-focused layer like this one. And it is really Tactrig with complete dominance over OP Heb, mortars to support the south side, and precious little 7th on the south side able to push in to react to that. They have a rally out there, but it's incredibly far away.
7th is attempting a transport hot drop on the shipping hatch. They might be able to prox both these at the same time.
Yeah.
Looks like Bob going for a couple more
Looks like
shots.
they're actually ignoring it.
Bob looks like he's been putting some work in over there.
Your supplies and pulling your radio. You want me to suck all those
So we're already seeing Tactrig command chat discuss on how to complete the role and make this shipping center their own. This shipping center now becoming an active cap with Fathead inside, and Asket not enough to actually begin this cap, but enough to confirm for their team that there is nothing of concern out here to be worried about.
I'm really not sure what 7th's up to these days. They got a transport driving out in the middle of nowhere, even shooting at their own transport with their helicopter.
And it does look like they have 2 Logis ready to go in Maine. I just think they're trying to figure out what they want to do with them.
75% running.
They had an opportunity with that transport to possibly take shipping, but it looks like instead of doing a hot drop with the Logi, they're doing a hot drop with the heli.
And I have to say, I'm really trying, but it is hard to find examples of 7th on this map right now. We've got a squad on the southwest side. Actually, this is a very nice drop from 7th. Wow, that is quite a few infantry on the west side of shipping center, in addition to quite a few on the south side. This is a very good retake. This might stabilize shipping center, but at the same time...
There's another mass right here to the southwest as well, pushing shipping at the same time. That heli is going to distract all of TT's
Fathead just deleted.
left flank.
This is a great push. At the same time, on the macro scale, I can't anticipate this changing the outcome of the match unless they're able to flip this into OP Heb, because they are so behind on ticket caps at the moment, on caps from tickets from flag caps at this moment. So they will quite likely maintain control of shipping center. Tactric does not get the role they may have been hoping for. At the same time, that does nothing to change the situation on OP Heb, which is still very firmly controlled by Tactrig. In fact, Tactrig has basically completely abandoned OP Heb to try to complete the role. If 7th can maybe turn some of this infantry around from shipping center, and once they finish cleaning up, they might be able to start a reverse roll. That is the only way they really have back into this match. 280 tickets for Tactrig, 103 for 7th Rangers. 3 rallies.
Seventh's real chomper has found the radio for shipping. This could be a very good collapse by them. If they can control that radio, they can push TT completely off of shipping.
And in addition to being on top of Tactic's radio, they also have 3 rallies behind, able to support that, constant reinforcements into that cap.
7th just not really quick to bat here. They had the infantry presence on shipping, but 7th with that quick reaction really dropped infantry on the point and is reestablishing a foothold, and they're going to be able to hold it. I don't think 7th's going to be able to retake here. They split their infantry too much. Simply was not aggressive enough. But we do see poor Just Me can't catch a break from the Logi to his helicopter, getting tail rotored. My golly, poor guy just trying to make something work.
Recipes. Oh, just no.
Lucky enough, he didn't slide off that roof. I've seen multiple helos fall off that roof, but just taking another rocket
right now. I mean, there's really no way out of this situation. Is Just dead? No, Just is managing to repair. I can't imagine that repair really sticking, though, right? But Tactric,
you know, you would say that,
is in cap right now. So it looks like whatever they've got going on the north side of Shipping Center has been able to put a stop to whatever's been going on the south side of Shipping Center and the west side of Shipping Center, because despite cap being neutralized here, there's a lot of 7 just to the west and just to the south. But Tector's got the secret sauce from the north side, supported even by their tank on this instance, so...
Now you say that Jess wasn't able to get out that repair.
I don't know, man.
Both rotors up.
I've been...
He's going to be taken off here in a minute.
I've been wrong a
Squad 10
lot
is pushing
today.
into HEP from 7th. They might be able to put pressure on HEP, which could pull a lot of pressure.
Oh no! I was right. I was right. Don't you doubt me. Don't you doubt me.
Jess can't catch a break.
Mortars killed that radio earlier, and Jess didn't make it out of here. I've been right twice. Just a little bit wrong about the time scale. So 7th, this is going to be a very tense, close fight in Shipping Center. Again, we're not going to see this change the outcome of the match. We're too far gone at this point, but I'm very curious to see if 7th manages to get a good enough push to take this radio out. We're also looking at only 17 minutes left on the game clock. I'm curious to also see if 7th can be ticket conservative enough to keep their tickets for the end of this match. The way these scrims work is at the end of the first round, the ticket tally that a team has won by, that differential, is the number that the enemy team needs to beat them by in the second round to get a victory in the scrim. So we take ticket tallies for both rounds into account when deciding a victor.
We could see a double neutral here between Heb and Shipping Center, but yeah,
nope, that's the cap.
I was looking at it, and it just was not going to work.
Not
I
a
mean,
chance.
a large presence of 7th on the east side, large presence on the west side, but just simply unable to push into the objective.
And, I mean, theoretically, Postville is a cap after this. Ooh, Drizzle takes a tracking shot from a lad up top. Very nice shot. Or maybe a BMB, possibly. I'm not sure quite what hit him. So
could have been the BMD one.
Tactric
It was in fact the BMD one.
Now stuck on the south side of Shipping Center. If we have an airstrike available from 7th, we might see some action. Or we might even see them possibly take that tank out of main. I don't believe they've been able to use that since the first time that it was completely deleted. And it looks like Tactric Mortar is able to take out some small vehicles by Shipping Center, able to take even more tickets off the board to ensure this one doesn't go down to time. And Drizzle, despite being tracked, has eyes on 3 different 7th rallies. Oh no! Spartan OG underneath Tactric's tank with mines. No, not going to be able to make it happen though. Those mines would have gone a long way to making sure Drizzle goes down. Vex able to save it. But at the same time, these players are smart enough that they see those mines on the back of that combat engineer, and they see them near the tracks. If they hear that noise, they know to get the shovel out. So Vex is going to hop back in the driver's seat, even though this vehicle is tracked. He cannot afford to go down. But Loki and Walter both bite the dust. I think Drizzle is uncontested over here at this moment now. They could start repping, but they don't know that.
I think Vex hopped on the commander seat and
Yeah.
cleaned up the backside of the tank. What a transition.
That was almost really excited to see Seven's combat engineer get some mines underneath that tank. That was very close. As a combat engineer aficionado myself, I always love to see cheeky plays like those. Usually tanks here, you think, oh, get the hat kit, but sometimes the combat engineer is able to do some really cheeky things.
Jim's gonna sneak in here, burning maybe 1, 2, 3 rallies. Just not quite close enough to get the one he's next to. Possibly get the one to his south.
It's a nice pick for him, though. So,
He's
Vexen...
gonna walk right up on a revive, though, and get taken out, unfortunately. Does get the rally, though.
Oh, Plo, two prone in the ground right next to each other. That's a little awkward. So Vex and Drizzle have not yet seen fit to hop out and repair. I can't blame them because we're looking at a very target-rich environment out here. There's a lot of red to be seen on the hills in front of them. It looks like they are suspecting a flank. I don't think there actually is one. E1's able to come help with the situation. Even the presence of one foot infantry can help calm your fears as a tank crew. Encourage you that it's okay to hop out and get that repair. Vex does say.
Southwest rallies.
Oh yeah. You also have a dead sea on you.
E1 pop pointing out that combat engineer. Odysseus with a view from a distance. Might get a shot on these repairs. That aim can just steady a little bit. E1 might go down in just a moment. Nope, goes for the rocket. That was an RPG-7 tandem. Lands short as the RPG-7 tandem usually tends to do. Odysseus will not have the hit he was looking for at the moment, but I believe this is the kit that gets 2 of those. Yep, that is a confirmed hit onto the turret for Drizzle. Not enough to put him out of commission, but man, that Hesh round or whatever the heck HE he just sent at Odysseus was enough to put Odysseus out, so Drizzle comes out on top for this one. How's the cap doing itself? Cap's empty. That radio's fine, and Tactrig just pushing out west into that contact they had earlier.
Now we see an artillery being called in on the map, and I'm not sure who's calling this artillery, because realistically either team kind of has to scratch their head at why they would be calling an artillery just on the west side of Shipping Center here. Not enough 7th to warrant it. Maybe, I mean, they don't know
I
that.
can't imagine this is 7th. That's where their rallies were. It looks like some of those rallies have been burned. That is a very puzzling arty. I imagine this is Tactrig's, but I'm not sure about that. That's a very funny arty. Little bit of funny between Randy and Chris in the command chat. Seventh maybe making a little bit of progress, but not much on that west side of Shipping. And it looks like they are trying to set up a little bit at Postville. Certainly Shipping not a very welcoming environment to be in right now.
Not a lot of TT on Postville to keep them from setting up. I think they should be able to set up here, but again, I don't even know if I would be wanting to set up on Postville right now.
Yeah.
7th.
We're reaching the kind of situation where you can kind of just walk wherever you need to be with the position that Tactrig has put themselves in. That fob that they've got going on allows them easy access to a couple different objectives. First it was Heb, then it was Shipping Center, now it's Postville. Although this Postville push is not going particularly well for TT, it doesn't really matter at this point. They just need to keep applying pressure so that 7th is on their toes the entire time. As the last 19 tickets wind down. Quite a few targets in front of Just. I'm not sure Just is going to be able to do much in this situation, however.
No, but I would hope that Jess would be on a redemption arc here, given their harsh beginnings.
Revisiting west side of Shipping Center. This rally is still alive, despite the arty, despite the infantry pushing into it, but couple tactic on the west side, probably about to take this rally down. Mortars chewing into Mercy, almost direct impacts. Mercy and Arthritis. Pinch between Mortars, two separate tactic squads. They're gonna have their work cut out for them. Aiden might just walk straight past. Does Arthritis know? Arthritis, if they know, is committing to the bandage. I think Aiden does not hear the bandage, is hearing the gunfire. These wooded fights are always so interesting from a casting perspective because it's like, oh, he's right there, but the woods, that can be very dark, can be very confusing. You hear one gunshot farther forward, but there was a guy to your left the whole time. Arthritis with a shot onto Hot Dog. Hot Dog does not go down. He gives position away and does not have cover. Aiden takes the shots, but does not land them. Arthritis is doing the best they can, making some pretty good results out of this situation. However, at the same time, as I zoom out, you're going to see that this rally is no longer here, which means this presence from 7th is doomed to dwindle down and die out in a moment's time.
Now, the 7th tank is out somewhere. It's not in main. I believe it is just sitting over on Postville in the forest.
I believe that you are correct about that. And I don't think that 7th's armor is really in any good shape to take an armor engagement here. They've got 12 tickets to work with. Even the loss of a BMD would be enough to end this match right here and now.
Good mortars by Ego on this push from 7th to the north. Gray spotted him out and coordinated mortars.
Appropriate kit.
We got Drizzle's tank overlooking the main road out of Maine.
Is there a seat open that does anything?
Not sure what Noon's doing on top. Maybe looking to join the tank crew. Looks like, is that G1 tracked again? It does look like, oh, that is not G1. That is another RWS, however, that is tracked just outside of Postville. This is a really crappy position to be in. Oh my goodness, and there's the engine shot from, I believe, IFV fire. Another shot. I would assume that this RW goes down momentarily. Really not able to respond in any meaningful way. There goes Seacrest. Oh, with 9 tickets left, that's about all she wrote for 7th on this one. Strong presence in Postville, but Postville's their last damn cap. And they're already getting pressured on that, too. So as this winds down, there's a couple kind of key inflection points maybe worth thinking about. So way early in the beginning of the match, that radio that 7th had on OP Hub that was getting pressured, they pulled that basically immediately. Do you guys think that was the right call?
I think their downfall started well before that, if I'm being honest. I mean, they dove to a very conservative position on the south side of Airfield, and quite frankly, I don't think that that was the right play. You put yourself into a position where you're very likely to be defending OPHEB, and it's not an objective I wanted to defend. I'd much rather defend that airfield, and that to me is really where 7th kind of lost out, and then it just kind of scaled from there.
Pulling the radio was definitely a smart idea. One thing they could have thought to do is let TT have OPHEP. If they had not capped OPHEP to start with, TT wouldn't have such a big ticket differential on them. TT would be down 30 tickets.
Sounds like 7th's tank was just tracked. Really does not matter at this point with 2 tickets left, but even now,
I believe Bread tracked that.
Bread making some work happen. How far? Where is Brad? I can't find him.
I mean, he is quite some ways out on the east side, but a beautiful shot. I don't think he got him tracked, but he did get an engine shot there.
Yeah. Yeah, this tank does still have both of its tracks, but oh, and tank fire from a different direction. Looks like a direct tank engagement might end this for us. And that is 7th's tank on fire, which will end this round for us. 261 ticket victory is... Oh boy. That is a lot to come back from 7th in the second round. They will need to win by 262 tickets or more to take this one. And from what we've seen so far, they are in an uphill fight to make that happen.
Fucking god.
Thank you, Scriptum. So with that, we will begin our little intermission here. Generally, we'll take a couple minutes of break. Now is a great time to grab a drink, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, tell your loved ones you love them.
Yeah. I'll be right
Or
back.
if you're a squad player, tell you
Touch
you
grass?
tell touch grass. Tell you love yourself because all your loved ones aren't here right now because you're yelling at a screenplay and squad. All right, with that, we will be back in just a few minutes, so stay tight. We'll have our second round in just a bit.
Too crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back a little bit earlier than we had anticipated being. We rolled
Can I get this
pretty
inside
quickly into this
on that marker, or
intermission,
is it going
so
outside?
if you are still with us, we are starting right now.
I don't know how
Urso's got a great shot of 7th's Logi making their way through the map. Our station working through the barracks now. Probably before we even do anything, I should probably update you on what kind of lane we're looking at here. So, taking a look at the map, we've got a very eastern lane now. There's still post-fill in play on the south side, but this east side, the mid caps are going to be more focused around the NORAD military area, possibly into refinery as well. So this is going to be a completely different layout from the first round.
Jest will halt cap as well. And Jest will halt cap
I wonder
as
if we'll see a little bit more of an aggressive rollout on both these teams, trying to get a foothold on NORAD. TT's going to be able to get there earlier. Don't know if 7th is aware of how fast they will be.
Urso, I hate to cut you off, but it looks like 7th might just be mass disconnecting.
I think they are. We just saw all of them die on Sheshkachu.
So to catch up the audience on what exactly is happening right now, so generally when we do a break after a round in a scrim, we will do a 5-minute break and then we will double roll the map to make sure the teams are correct. And that did not happen, which is why we came back so early. And it seems like some sort of disagreement has happened, which has caused 7th to leave the server. As you can see, they only have 33 players now, and I'm not sure exactly what we are going to be doing about this. But for right now, we're here.
Here's the admin slow-mo before they left.
Did they leave us with an admin slow-mo?
Yes, so this is I don't know what to think about this. Feels a little dirty and trolly to me.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, needless to say, we're not playing squad right now. I'm gonna go on break, and if we're back, we're back. And if we're not back, I hope you guys really enjoyed round 1. Make sure you subscribe to the Tech Trick YouTube channel. Man, I was so excited. We were doing so good in the first round. I'm gonna cut to break for a bit. I'll see if I can get an update on what's going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are now staring at the main menu. Seems like our scrim is not going to be continuing. So with that, I will wish you guys a happy rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us for that first round. Urso Revenge co-casting with you guys with the multiple camera angles was a really great experience. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of that in the future. So thank you guys to the both of you. And with that, we're going to sign off. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for more squad to watch and your time was cut short, please check the videos that we've got, because we've done a lot of scrim videos on other scrims that we've done that did go the distance the full 2 rounds, and I hope you guys will enjoy those on the channel in lieu of a second round here. So with that, we're gonna sign off. See ya.